So I'm heading out for my morning run here, and because I like to try things out for myself and be doing something a little different. Now, barring the anecdotal nature and possible availability heuristic of making a conclusion from this, I still want to test out what it's like if I do this run wearing a mask. So we'll check back in and see how I do at the end. Still on pace. About typical. Got 4 miles. 4. But otherwise, still ahead of pace. 8:43 pace, and feel about the same as usual, other than my face is definitely hotter because I'm breathing into it, and that air getting into my eyes. Just dried them out a little bit with the glasses, mask, dry eye combo, but not bad.
So why did I go for that run, and what does it really even tell us? Well, I went for the run because there were some doctors that had done some things like that, and I thought, yeah, I wonder what will happen if I go for a run. There have been some short videos that people have put out, and I thought, I can probably do that. So that was kind of the big motivator. The other reason was I feel like I've heard a lot of things that try to scare people about all this stuff with oxygen deprivation in a mask, and I don't think it holds up very well. So I thought, well, why don't I just try it on myself and see what happens? Now, what this tells us is a different question altogether, because if we're applying science correctly, it doesn't really tell us a whole lot. Maybe there's some comparison to some of those other videos, but it's anecdotal, as I said at the very beginning of the video, which means it can't apply to a population and really doesn't apply to anyone other than people that have the same build as me, the same athletic ability as me, that happen to eat the same in the past week, that have the same training regimen. You hold all those other variables even, then you could expect that they'd have a similar experience. But this video, just like those other doctor videos, doing things where they're testing their oxygen or their ability to do stuff with or without a mask on, really carry basically no weight from a scientific standpoint. I also mentioned the availability heuristic, and the availability heuristic is generally defined as whatever is around us. We assume that that just happens to be how it is everywhere. One researcher referred to it as what you see is all there is. And that, of course, is also not scientific. One other problem that we run into, and it's kind of the availability heuristic in action, is when we use convenience sampling, which sometimes you'll see if you're looking at research. And that just means, we just said, yeah, this clinic has 200 cases, let's look at these 200 cases. But that doesn't mean that that sample reflects anything other than that sample, because they might only treat wealthy white people in one particular portion of the country, and that probably doesn't reflect to anything else. So when we talk about this from a scientific standpoint, what we can say is that it is possible to do activity with a mask on, but that doesn't even mean I would recommend it. If you're not around other people, there's not really a good reason when you are outdoor and exercising to wear one. But if you have to, you can do it. And if you're not able to do it, then that might be a reflection on what your body is capable of handling at the time. But again, none of these videos carry much weight from a true scientific perspective. They aren't really experiments. They're just different people goofing off, really. And I had fun doing it. I did run at a faster pace than I've ever run 5 miles before, which kind of goes towards the importance too of double blinding a study, because I might have had more effort or drive to run faster wearing a mask, because I wanted to do it and be successful. But that again goes back to, well, if I'm driving and pushing harder, I'm going to have more of an oxygen demand, and my body was still able to handle a higher than normal effort while wearing a mask. So take with it what you can. Like I said, from a science standpoint, you can't take much with it, but yeah, I had fun.